Race 6 on the card is the feature race on the opening day of the Qatar Goodwood Festival. Is the Goodwood Cup over 3,200 metres, a proper stamina sapper. Let's have a look at the course map. It's going to be a little bit different from the other races on the card we've seen so far, starting on the far side of the track, going round that top bend and then coming up that steep hill to finish. Over the 3,200 metre trip, 11 going to post for this one. Group 1 contest: Broome, Coltrane, Courage Mon Ami, Elder Eldarov, Enemy, Giavolotto, Lone Eagle, Ocean Wind, Quickthorn, Kashkan and Emily Dickinson. Right, let's start by looking at one of our visual clues, this time Courage Mon Ami. And Graham, this came before his finest hour at Goodwood last time.
What an amazing story. It's very unusual for a horse to get to the top of the staying tree in such a compressed space of time. But he's 4 from 4, he's by Frankel, he's got that Frankel power and hunger. And this is a much lesser race than Tuesday's Goodwood Cup. And John Gosden, his park trainer, said that he was up in the air for a bit, but to do this third start was notable, and to do what he did in the Ascot Gold Cup on his fourth start was tremendous, John.
Yeah, and it was a sort of stoppy-starty race, the Ascot Gold Cup, from a sectional perspective, and he was a long way off the speed, and he sliced through the field, and of course beat Coltrane in the process. No mean feat. So he's a horse whose upward curve is a very, very vertiginous one, and I think he's going to go well here again, no doubt about it.
Price is the potential concern. Franco Dettori, unbeaten son of Frankel, Gold Cup winner, he's bound to be tight in the market.
Yeah, it certainly will be. And John, just on what Graham was saying about his unusual profile, it really is just the 4 starts, but being so talented at the top of that stage tree already.
I think he surprised virtually everybody, even Mr. Gosden and Mr. Dettori, by winning the Ascot Gold Cup. So yeah, interesting back to the 2 miles, but as I say, he's got to go in.
And he's only got 3 parts of a length in hand on Coltrane, we should mention that.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking of Coltrane, let's have a look back at last year's renewal, Graham, and the first 3 not involved this year.
This was, I think, the best staying race in Europe last year, Tom. If you have a look at Kyprios, Stradivarius, Trushan, they were respectively rated 119, 118, 124. So this was a world-class race, and Coltrane was just getting good at this point, John. He had no excuses in 4th, didn't need any, but he's a better horse in 2023 than he was 12 months ago, I think.
I think he is, yeah, and he's very versatile as well. If it's a stamina test, he'll be fine. He's shown to himself to have a really good turn of foot if it gets tactical too. And yes, 3 of the top sprinter stayers of the last few years all involved here, who aren't involved on Tuesday afternoon, and he's miles clear of the 5th as well.
He did everything right, bar win at Royal Ascot, and the fact that he's so battle-hardened. And Courage Mon Ami has only had 4 races, and he's coming off the back of his first ever major battle. Might just tilt the scales in Coltrane's favour.
Yeah, it could well do. One horse you saw in that video there was Kyprios, not running this year, but Aidan O'Brien is represented, this time by Emily Dickinson, Graham. What kind of a chance would you give her? Major
chance. She's on top for me. She has 1 or 2 quirks, and she got well behind when she ran at Goodwood 12 months ago, but she's a much better horse now. She ran really well on unsuitably fast ground in the Gold Cup. Here, that filly Ross Carberry, who hits the front on the bridle, is a good filly. Emily Dickinson guns her down and forges clear late on. I think this was her best performance yet. Aidan O'Brien's quotes are always beautifully evocative. He said Emily would give any good horse a hard time on that ground. She grows an extra leg when it's soft. It's already good to soft, could get a bit softer, in which case, turned out quickly, Emily Dickinson is a danger to them all in my book, John.
Yep, she's 1 from 1 over 2 miles. Graham referenced a really good run at Goodwood last year over the 1.75 miles. She'll go very well. Ryan Moore aboard, definitely in the numbers.
I'm very interested to see what you both make of another formula we're going to look at now, this time from York, and Giavolotto eventually winning this, Graham, but in my opinion slightly below the form needed to win at Goodwood.
I think you might be right. We've got a handful of potential key players here. Look at that horse Elder Eldarov. He had a significant penalty for a St Leger win, so the fact that he could get so close. Quickthorn goes really well at York, and he sets them a target. Quickthorn now has his first run at Goodwood. I'm not certain it'll be ideal, but he's a very smart horse in the stripes. Elder Eldarov gets chopped for speed, then comes on strong. Giavolotto wins it, snaking to the left in the closing stages. What do you make of this, John? Because I think they're good horses, but I couldn't quite make any of them the winner of this.
Yeah, Giavolotto and Elder Eldarov, I'm not absolutely certain that Goodwood will suit given their run styles. I mean, this is a good effort from both, really, for the reasons that you've given. And obviously, Quickthorn is a very important horse in the race from a tactical perspective. I've swerved this form. It's good, but it might not be quite good enough.
Agreed.
OK, lovely stuff. Can't wait for this first Group 1 of the week. Difficult to try and work it out, but got 2 experts next to me try and make it a little bit easier. Graham, starting with you with your selections.
Yeah, it's a belter. We've got some new kids on the block in terms of the top stayers. I'm going for Emily. Number 11, Emily Dickinson. I think she'll be really hard to keep out of the first 3. 2, Coltrane. from a consistency point of view. 3 Courage Mon Ami. He's going to be a short price. Got to have him in on the short list. And 9 Quickthorn.
And John, yourself?
Yeah, I've got the same top 3, slightly different order. Going to go with Coltrane on top. He's versatile, he loves Goodwood, and he won't have any of the big 3 that he encountered last year to worry about. Courage Mon Ami, obviously, for all the reasons given, there's not much between them. Emily Dickinson in for third. Graham has made a very good case for her. Broome was obviously probably not at his best over 2.5 in the Gold Cup last time, but he has got a very good run on his dance card over at Meydan, of course, over the 2 miles. I think he'll go quite nicely as well. Obviously, the O'Brien second string, but a very good second string.
Yeah, very much so. Can't wait for this one. I'm going to go with Courage Mon Ami. Got that winning Goodwood form already, and of course won the big one at Royal Ascot last time out. That is the feature race on the card.